Well, the Browns and Packers are 2-3 on the season, trying to get to 500. A mere field goal in the first half, and Cleveland leads 3-0. Back with the third quarter in a moment.
Dean Witter believed every success story was unique.
We have a sacred trust to protect our investors.
Whether it's the success of a small business,
to maintain conservative policies,
saving for college,
to put the interest of our clients first,
or planning an early retirement. From getting in on the ground floor to getting all the way to the top, Dean Witter is there to help every client make it every step of the way. Dean Witter.
We measure success one investor at a time.
Monday, special guest star Adam Ant stumbles into Sicily.
I'm one of your biggest fans.
Did I do you on the Wonderland tour?
And the town might never be the same.
I was wondering if maybe you were influenced by some of the greats, like Hendrix.
Hendrix?
Star Spangled Banner?
He wrote the Star Spangled Banner.
Emmy-winning Northern Exposure.
Yeah.
Monday.
Reggie Jackson gave us some lasting memories, but if you think he's just collecting cars now, think again. Back in the baseball business. Eye on America tomorrow on the CBS Evening News.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the Chrysler Corporation. In the car business, you lead, follow, or get out of the way. Cold filtered Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. And by McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Welcome back at halftime. 3-0 Cleveland. Stover, 26-yard field goal in the first quarter on the opening possession. That's the only scoring so far, Hank. And there was really one segment that kind of typified that first half, that sequence of 3 fumbles in 3 plays.
Yeah, the triple dip fumbles were
Let's go back through them, Hank, and take a look at the first one.
Here we go. Watch Thompson. He fumbles. He hits the ground on his back. The ball bounces out of there, and they're recovered by Johnson. And then the very next play, Cleveland gives it back. Ford gives the ball back. Look at this. Ball bounces around and recovered by the Packers.
Yep, Millard.
Millard. And the very next play, you got Workman carrying the ball, bounces to the right side with the ball in his left arm. He spins, gets it. The ball bounces loose, and another fumble. 3 in a row.
And that's now 11 quarters that Cleveland has gone without giving up a touchdown. As you look at Mike Tomczak, the former Packer, the former Bear, and in the first half, first downs belongs to the Browns. They picked up the bulk of those on their first possession. And they have it in time of possession, too, by a large margin, thanks to that 9.5-minute drive to begin the game.
His Favre, look at this, 6 of 11 for 70 yards, and Tomczak 5 for 12 for 51 yards. If I were Green Bay, I'd be tickled to death to be able to come out at halftime with only a 3-point deficit, the way the Cleveland Browns were able to maintain possession of the clock.
All right, let's look at Mike Holmgren's possessions in the first half. 3 downs and out, a long drive, but they had to punt, and then a fumble and a fumble. So they had it for only 24 plays in the first half. But they'll get it now to start the third quarter as Matt Stover has it on a tee to kick to Edgar Bennett and Robert Brooks. Brooks will not run it out. So Brett Favre, the third-rated quarterback in the NFL, trailing only Randall Cunningham and Steve Young in quarterback ratings in the whole league. He will come out, and will he have a big second half?
You know, one thing that's very obvious in the first half, the Packers, with their great receiver, they never got the ball to him.
Sterling Sharp never did he?
Only 2 times. They only threw the ball to Sharp 2 times in the first half, and if they're going to win this game, they got to get the ball to him in the second half.
Well, they threw it to him twice, but no receptions. The passes were not on the mark. No receptions. Sidney and Workman are the backs. They begin with a running play with Workman. Down the line and losing a yard, bumped out by Brandon.
The technique reaction of the Cleveland Browns excellent on the read of the outside play. Browns really are reacting and pursuing and gang tackling extremely well.
Brandon, one of the linebackers with Mike Johnson and Clay Matthews. That's a pretty good set of backers. 2nd and 11. There is Sharp. Sterling Sharp's first catch of the day for 5 yards to the 24. Mike Johnson on the hit, right on his back.
The interesting thing about their passing game last week, Brett completed 12 of 16 passes, especially on first down. And 8 of the 12 completions were for 5 yards or less.
In that game against Atlanta, he completed 33 of 43 and had strings of 12 and 10 straight completions. But as Hank pointed out, many of them of the short variety. 3rd, and we'll call it 5. We need a short one here, about 5 yards for the first. Workman has it out to the 35. First down, Green Bay.
Linebacker blitzed up the middle that time, left the middle of the area of the field wide open, and Brett read it very good again. 6 defensive backs, 1 blitzing on the play, but he got their ball to the right guy.
So first down for Green Bay. Have not had a chance to see Mikowski today. He's the backup quarterback and the one who will be in holding on the placements.
But he definitely will not play in the game, I don't think, other than hold for the kicker.
No placements needed in the first half. First down, and Favre does not go down. He's a big, strong kid, and he'll slide for the first. He broke away from Anthony Pleasant. There was a blitz in on him, Hank.
Brandon blitzing on the play. Now look at this. This kid yesterday said, well, I'm not much of a runner, but he does a great job here. Escapes that would-be tackler. Brandon goes to the outside, knows where he has to run. He could have gone up the field a little bit farther for more yardage, but used good judgment and slid right into second base and out of bounds.
Yeah, they said he went out of bounds before he got the first, so a second and a foot. One guy told us Vinny Testaverde is a strong quarterback, a weight room strong kind of a guy, but Brett Favre is naturally strong, like Bradshaw, big old country boy. And here he hands off to Sidney. He has the first to the 38. Salem is in at right tackle for Tootie Robinson. Now an update on that report. At first they thought it might be a sprained hip. It's a groin pull instead for Robinson. He's not in there. And the report on Millard, the x-rays have come back, a broken right hand.
Oh, what a tough break.
First down, Green Bay from the 48. Flags are down. There'll be a holding call. James Jones, one of the defenders who helped force them out of the pocket.
That time they were in a 3-deep zone that time, Jim. And evidently good coverage downfield because it forced him out of the pocket and made him run. And again, I'm impressed the way he is running.
Illegal hands to the face, number 72 offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Harvey Salem picked up off waivers from Denver back in August.
Right tackle now. Watch 72. Watch Salem. Gets knocked off, and then he comes back. And you can see him holding there on the left side of the picture.
There's Tootie Robbins. First and 20. Slant pattern and never there. Never open at all, looking for Sanjay Beach. It'll be second and 20. Minifield on the coverage.
And that was man-for-man coverage again. Minifield is back at his old position. and still one of the premier one-on-one cover guys in the National Football League.
Minifield on injured reserve the first month of the season, but back last week after a urinary disorder. Three-time Pro Bowler. Brings a lot of life to this defense. Barry Wilburn joins the secondary for 5 DBs on 2nd down and 20. Sidearms it to Sharp. Tries to make a move on Matthews. It only gets to the 45. It'll be 3rd and long. Cedric Figueroa also in on that play.
The one thing you have to be impressed with is the way Brett stays in the pocket. Very patient, very poised. Look at this now. He stays in the pocket, then he jumps up into the pocket, gets rid of the football. A lot of times young quarterbacks who have running ability, if they don't see anybody open, they're going to take off or run. That time he saw the receiver and got the ball to him.
3rd down and 13. Green Bay trailing 3-0 in the 3rd quarter. Barb to Sharp. Got it. 1st down at the 35. Terry Taylor was defending. Sharp with 3 catches on this series after not coming up with a reception in the first half. They weren't throwing it his way.
That time they had 5 defensive backs, man-for-man coverage. And again, Favre did a terrific job of getting rid of the football. There was somebody in his face. He got rid of it in spite of that and got the ball downfield.
Hank, you remember yesterday you asked Mike Holmgren, what's the strength of your team? The first thing he said is Sterling Sharp.
And that's why it's important that they get the ball to him as often as they possibly can. People say they're double covering. That's all right. You got to get it to him somehow. Bring him across the middle if it's double covered.
Holmgren called him a true star. And Workman hammered near the 30. Newsome on the hit. Yeah.
Really came up there from the safety position and got him a good hit.
Spotted at the 30. 2nd down and about 5 with 9 minutes to go. This is a possession for Green Bay, much like the way Cleveland took the opening kick.
Well, talking to Mike early before the game, that's exactly what he said he'd like to do. Would like to be able to run the football, control the clock, and take as much time as he possibly can.
10th play of the drive on 2nd and 5. Pitcher Taylor's in the game. Sidney is hammered right when the ball arrived. David Brandon delivered the blow.
Man-for-man coverage again. Brandon has really had an outstanding afternoon so far. Done a terrific job for the Cleveland Browns.
Brandon is kind of a big play linebacker. Had a fumble recovery. Run back for a touchdown in that Monday night game against the Dolphins. And then last year in an overtime game at San Diego, made an interception and ran it back to win the game. Is that kind of a big play linebacker. 3rd and 5 for the Packers. Timeout called by Favre. Looked across the line and called the timeout. With 8:34 to go in the 3rd quarter, still 3-0 Cleveland.
Well, it's here. Time for me to step down and retire as chairman of Chrysler. And hey, anybody that goes out wants to go out with a bang. And we've got a bang that'll be heard from Germany to Japan. It's a new car design that's as revolutionary as our minivan was. It's going to change the way cars are designed from now on. We call it cab forward. What we did was move the windshield forward. Then we pulled the rear wheels back, made the rear doors wider and easier to get through, and increased the width. Believe me, this does more than just improve the looks. It gives you a lot more room inside, it rides better, and it's easier to handle. I think cab forward, like our minivan, is going to get copied by everybody. It has to, just because it makes so much sense. You know, I got to tell you, when it's your last turn at bat, it sure is nice to hit a home run.
Wouldn't it be great if you could afford a luxurious mansion? For you and all your friends? Of course. course, the place needed some updates, like a bowling alley and a pool table. Naturally, it'd have an open house. Food's here! With beer!
Harold, do something!
Icy, cold-filtered Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Bottle beer cased in a can. Now, wouldn't that be great?
Doubleheader day on CBS. Next, you'll see Atlanta and San Francisco. What a key game this is for the Falcons, who are 2-4. They swept San Francisco last year in a couple of wild ones. 39-34. They won at the stick. And then at home, Atlanta won on a Hail Mary on the last play of the game. So they'll be back for the first of 2 games on this season later today on CBS. 3rd and 5. Starting to rain a little bit harder. Green Bay going into the wind. Hard to Beach. Stopped about a yard shy. Frank Minifield would not let him lean for it. Newsome in there also. So it's going to be 4th down, 4th and about a yard.
That last time they had a safety blitz. Turner, number 29, blitzing on the play.
Official timeout to bring out the chains. What do you do here, Hank? They're going to be short. Got to put the 3 points on the board to tie it.
Let's see how short they are. If it's less than a yard, I'd go for it. More than a yard, I'd pump it through there.
Looked like it was about a full yard, Hank. And they bring out Chris Jacke.
Yeah, that's
and
the
here
rule.
Comes the magic man.
That's basically the rule of thumb, and I think he's doing the right thing.
Jacke has missed Magic on the hold. He made only 3 out of 7 field goal attempts without Magic. Favre had been holding for him in the last 3 games.
I asked Favre yesterday, did you hold it with your left hand or right hand? He said, well, that was a problem. Sometimes with the left and sometimes with the right. I'd forget.
Frank Winters will snap it. Jacke from 44 yards to tie it. Well, welcome back, Magic. And the kick is good. 3-3. Jacke from 44 yards midway through the 3rd quarter. 3-3.
Autumn, a time when trees cast new colors. A time for sharing warmth. And at McDonald's, we're doing just that. Sharing the warmth of our new oven-baked apple pies. A cinnamon-dusted crust with golden delicious apple filling. And now when you buy one, your local McDonald's donates 25 cents to Ronald McDonald Children's Charities, who bring warmth and hope to kids everywhere. Try our new baked apple pie. It's a delicious way to warm your heart.
Investors are returning to traditional values. One investment firm never left them. Smith Barney. They make money the old-fashioned way. They earn it.
Rockport has combined the lightweight comfort of its walking shoe with the rugged performance of its hiking boot. The Discovery Series by Rockport. It wasn't as easy as it looks. Rockport, you should be in our shoes.
Castrol GTX is the only leading motor oil that meets the world's toughest requirements for viscosity breakdown in every grade. This is the only way to get that kind of performance from any other leading brand. Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars.
You can't be president and not sit down with Larry King. You can't be Larry King and not sit down with Mike Wallace. Tonight on 60 Minutes.
That possession to start the 3rd quarter suspiciously looking like the Browns' way they started the game, where they drove it down, even took a timeout in that series and then kicked a field goal. Same goes for the Packers. 3-3 now midway through the 3rd. Jacke kicks it to Metcalf at the 5. 27. Let's get an update on the Bears and the Bucks. Then we go back to Greg Gumbel for the story on that one. Greg?
All right, Jim, at Soldier Field, watch Jim Harbaugh hook up with Anthony Morgan and watch the Tampa Bay defensive backs take each other out of the play. It clears the way for Anthony Morgan's 83-yard touchdown. And in the third quarter, the Bears lead the Bucks 21-7, Jim.
Can you believe that? Anthony Morgan had missed a couple of games earlier in the season, and he told Mike Ditka, I can be that breakaway guy, that receiver. I can be the deep threat. At that time, it was just kind of a hapless defensive effort that sprung him free. 1st and 10, and Cleveland. Ooh, what a run that was by Bardell. Beating Chuck Cecil well past the line of scrimmage. John Reinstra had a good block here, Hank.
Yeah, nothing fancy. He just goes into the hole. Look at the holding a headlock in there too by the left guard. At least it looked like it was. It looked like it might have been Moran. But anyway, good run by Bardell. No messing around, no dancing. Into the hole and straight for the goal line.
Cleveland rushing offense, they're ahead of that total already today, ahead of the average.
They got an advantage to the right side outside if they go outside.
2nd and 3, straight ahead. Bardell bounces off the line, off the pile, and gets out to the 45. Touchdown Tommy, they called him at Stanford. He set 6 school records, including 1,000 yards last year.
Okay, watch this now. Good blocking at the point of attack, and he bounces to the outside of the block of the right guard. Moran goes into the big hole and makes yardage on the play.
Bardell.
Very good rhythm and eyes on the play.
5 carries for 30 yards. Quickly to Michael Jackson. And good grip by Vinnie Clark.
Yeah, good variety here. You know, they run inside, they run outside. Now they throw a screen outside. It keeps them guessing a little bit.
Bardell goes out, and Mack comes in, 2nd and 9. Metcalf on a wing to the left.
Well, they ought to throw the ball here. They got a lot of guys inside.
Tomczak. Tough pass to Jackson. And Tomczak hit the turf. Matt Brock took him down.
Man-for-man coverage. Watch Tomczak right about the time now he gets rid of the football. He gets a shot inside. A good hit by Brock, number 62.
Tomczak and Hilgenberg were saying, hey, we really want to look good in this game because next week Green Bay plays Chicago, and our old teammates on the Bears will be watching our game film all week.
Yeah, they've been grading us all week long, so we got to do a good job. It was interesting to hear him say that, wasn't it?
There's Hilge coming right out of position because there was a movement by number 62. Brock.
5 yards, 3rd down. Before
left side of the screen, we see the encroachment. There it is. Brock, number 62.
Tomczak really owes a great deal to Hilgenberg ending up here in Cleveland. After he was cut, Tomczak, by the Packers, Hilge was going upstairs on a daily basis to Mike Lombardi, trying to get him interested.
Yeah, he wanted 10% too after they signed.
No finder's fee, though, huh? No finder's fee. Tomczak wide open is Jackson inside the 40 and driving to the 34.
Interesting thing about Jackson, talking to the Browns, they said that they went to see Favre in college and looked at a lot of film. Here we see him to the right. Look at this. Goes behind the linebacker, makes the catch right in the middle, and starts upfield. But I was alluding to the story. They said that they looked at Favre, and as they were looking at him, they see Jackson. They said, you know, this guy looks very impressive, so they kept looking at the film. They decided they were going to draft him. They liked him so much, and as a result, they drafted him in the 6th round.
Good play action fake. Tomczak throws him, and there's Metcalf at the 15. Sidesteps a defender. What a run to the 4. He broke away initially from Vinnie Clark. 30 yards on that play.
We get another shot of that. Watch the fake. Tomczak faking. Play action fake. Goes back in the pocket. Throws the ball quickly. Gets it. And look at Metcalf in the open field. Boy, he's murdering the open field. He'll make you miss. He finally went back into the field and got tackled. But an excellent play by Eric Metcalf and a good throw by Tomczak.
Lawyer Tillman, watch him. He has good size, lined up at the top of your screen. And Mack is the running back. First and goal. Mack outside for the touchdown.
What a good read by Mack. He had the option to go inside or outside, depending on what the tackle did on the right side. He went right up there and it cut to the outside, went in the run, molested for the touchdown. Great run. Here we see a replay of it here. To our right side. Look, he goes inside. Good blocking at the point of attack, but he breaks outside. And right on the goal line gets hit, but not strong enough to stop the play. Goes in for the touchdown. A great run by Mack.
Stover. 10-3 Cleveland. 3:54 to go in the third quarter. So the game is starting to open up a little bit. Browns with the game's first touchdown.
Levi's loose-fitting jeans. A loose interpretation of the original. Ooh, what's this?
She sees my V6. Oh, buy me, please buy me. Oh, she likes my spoiler, my low-profile tires, sports suspension. She wants me. Uh-oh, she thinks I'm too expensive. I can fix that.
Perfect.
Ow!
Duster, a lot to love for under 10,000 from Chrysler Plymouth.
I'm so happy.
My boyfriend will love it.
I'm so unhappy.
He said he was never drafted. Then he admitted he was drafted. Then he said he forgot being drafted. He said he was never deferred from the draft. Then he said he was. He said he never received special treatment, but he did receive special treatment. The question then was avoiding the draft. Now, for Bill Clinton, it's a question of avoiding the truth.
Game 1, the Braves fans had something to cheer about with an Atlanta win. The Blue Jays try to even it up in Game 2 of the World Series tonight on CBS.
Watch Wolfley coming in motion in here like a block, and watch Bavaro there. He reads it and goes into the end zone for the touchdown. Great run by the ball carrier, Kevin Mack. Watch it. Look at the block by Bavaro. He jumps inside just enough to help the block for the tight end. Breaks it outside. Great read, good vision, and good execution on the play for the touchdown by Kevin Mack.
Kevin Mack's 49th career touchdown. 73-yard drive, and the Browns lead 10-3. Squib kick down to Brooks to the 25. Redskins have added a field goal, so has Dallas. Dallas got one from Lynn Elliott from 39 yards. Let's check the Packers. They moved the football. Their best drive of the day on the first series of this third quarter. There's a quarterback who led them from behind against Cincinnati. Sharp is coming on in the second half. leg. Harris, first down in about 14 yards.
There again, Favre rolling to his left. Had some pressured a little bit, but he still had the poise to throw the ball and make the completion. Now watch this again. Not a very good fake at all, but look at the guy's right in his face, and he dumps the ball off in good shape. Whereas maybe another young quarterback that didn't have as much ability and poise would not make that kind of a play.
Sharp goes out wide to the left. Sidney and Workman in the backfield, 1st and 10. Workman. Hit high by Newsom. And Johnson was getting him around the legs. Workman is quite a story, Hank. He felt at one time when they had an exhibition game in late August against the Rams. Greg Bell had a pretty good day that day. He thought he might get cut. Now he's got over 300 yards on the season coming in here, and he's been a big part of the Packers offense.
Oh, yeah, they like him very much, and justifiably so.
That's 68 yards from scrimmage today. Pump fake. Here he is, Workman into Cleveland territory. And Sharp wanted to throw a block, but wisely backed off of it because he would have clipped Minifield.
And Favre showed a lot of poise that time, making a pump like he's going to look in the other direction and throw the ball, and throws it right on the stick. Here we see him again. Look at this, looking, and then he looks inside and gets rid of the ball nicely.
Watch Sharp back off the possible clip.
Good judgment on his part, because had he hit him in the back, it would have been a clip.
First and 10 from the Cleveland 40. It's a 17-yard play. Workman, double whammy, but holds on inside of the 20. That's a 22-yard play to Workman.
Right down the middle of Workman. There you see him, pops right, and he throws the ball nicely right over the linebacker. Right over the top of the linebacker. The only place he could throw it and make that reception, that's where he got the ball.
6 catches for 77 yards for Workman. Under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. He was tied for 2nd in the NFC with Sharp coming in for receptions, only trailing Mike Pritchard of Atlanta. First down play, rolling out far. And about 9. Stops the clock with 37 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
Look at this, inside the 20, Jim.
Can you believe that? 3 touchdowns is all in 17 opportunities by the opposition. And again, as we near the end of the 3rd quarter, it's been, what, 10 quarters plus, almost on the brink of 11 quarters without allowing a touchdown.
This would be a big test for them right here.
Actually make that 11 on the brink of 12 quarters. 2nd down. And down to the 9 is Sidney. Might demand a look at the chains. Stopped for a measurement, I believe, with 1 second to go in the 3rd quarter. First and goal for the Packers. And now we'll run out the clock in the 3rd quarter. So Cleveland now extends its streak to 12 quarters without allowing a touchdown, but it's in danger of being broken as we embark on the 4th quarter. 10-3 Cleveland through 3 quarters.
It's a refreshing taste from a cold, cold place. Yeah, it's easy going down from the very first round. Pure as can be, it's a natural, you see. Wow. It's smooth, smooth, silver bullet smooth. Yeah, well, that's our story. Now it's your call. Cold Coors Light is the right beer now. That's all. Bye-bye.
The most innovative design to come down the runway isn't in Paris. It's the new Pittsburgh International Airport, where every day, nearly 500 U.S. air flights come together at the world's most modern connecting terminal. If you think Paris is sophisticated, wait till you see Pittsburgh.
U.S. Air begins with you.
If your ordinary drill could be a Black & Decker limited edition, it would have 30% more power and a keyless chuck for easy bit changes. Then you'd have no ordinary drill. You'd have a Black & Decker limited edition.
When what you eat and drink gives your stomach a surprise, you want a medicine that works directly on your stomach. Pepto-Bismol. As it coats, Pepto delivers powerful medicine right where you hurt. Pepto-Bismol.
You are watching the National Football League on CBS Sports.
A Kevin Mack touchdown run is the difference as we start the fourth quarter. Cleveland leading 10-3. Jim Nance and Hank Stram with you. Overcast Cleveland skies and a light mist in the air. Hank?
Well, this is a tough place to do business, Jim, because the field is very soft. And you're in the gumbo, so to speak. You got to run straight ahead. Play action passes would also be good. It's a burden on the defense. Very helpful, beneficial offensively because the defense really can't get off the mark as quickly in this area of the field.
Green Bay, 1st and goal from the 9. Favre in trouble. Buried back at the 12 by Burnett and Jones.
Didn't have much running room that time, man-for-man coverage. Sharp, 84, is yelling for the ball. Look at him in the flat area. There he is, wide open, but he doesn't see him.
Second
the pocket really caved in on him there too, Jim. Good job by Cleveland.
2nd and goal, ball back at the 12-yard line, 13. Workman from the backfield, and Brandon in on him in a hurry. Incomplete. He saw Brandon coming.
He saw him. You could see, he could tell there was pressure on Brandon coming from the inside and didn't make the catch. But here again, we talked about that earlier, Jim. You got to run the ball. If you're going to run it straight ahead, which they haven't done, they've thrown twice. But in conjunction with that, play-action passes are much better. Now it's 3rd down. The play-action, of course, is a lot better on 1st down.
Brooks is in at the bottom of your screen, Sharp to the right. They don't have a shotgun formation in their offense. 3rd and goal from the 13. Bumble on the snap. Ball is free, and I think Sidney has it. He does indeed. Harry Sidney on the recovery. It'll just back up the Jacke field goal attempt a little longer. Jacke has connected on his only attempt of the day, a 44-yard kick in the 3rd quarter. This one will be inside of 40 yards. It'll be 37 yards for Chris Jacke. Mikowski on the hold. The kick is perfect. 10-6. The Cleveland lead is trimmed to 4, opening minute of the 4th quarter.
We had bought Japanese products 5 times, and over the past 12 months or so, the maintenance bills just got to be out of hand.
So this is your new van?
It sure is. You like it?
Boy, that's something. What is this?
Chrysler Town & Country.
I felt pretty strongly about giving America another chance
Chrysler seems to have really been improving their product, and that was exactly what we wanted.
With over 3 million sold, Chrysler's minivans have been a part of more lives than all other minivans combined.
The national debt. It is a massive storm that is clouding America's future. An ill wind that is destroying jobs. It is a debt so enormous that it will take 1/3 of the federal income tax collected this year just to pay the interest. $199 billion in interest that could be used to create jobs that will only be lost in the storm. When will it end? When we choose a candidate who understands that deficit spending is an irresponsible act of government, not an uncontrollable act of nature. A proven business leader who will work with the free enterprise system rather than play politics. The candidate is Ross Perot. The issue is the national debt. The choice is yours.
Hank, the teams have had 3 total possessions in the second half. 2 by Green Bay. They scored on both of their possessions. And Cleveland got a touchdown the only time it's had it here in the second half.
And they had a very impressive drive, too, didn't they?
They really did. Drove it over 70 yards. The Browns did for a touchdown. They're about to get the football again, leading 10-6. Metcalf is the deep man. Eric Metcalf. Jacke's kick bounces at the goal line. They'll down it. And we'll remind you that tonight, Game 2 of the World Series. Boy, don't they go crazy down in Atlanta. And I'm sure Toronto will be just as excited when games 3, 4, and 5 go up north on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll have all, of course, the World Series right here on CBS. Cone and Smoltz tonight. The starting pitchers, the Braves, winning the opener last night by the score of 3-1. All right, here comes Cleveland with Tom Zach. Both teams trying to get that treasured third win to be 3-3 on the year. Bardell is the single back. He'll run it, but only for a yard. Brian Noble knocked him down along with Danny Noonan.
Noble reacts very well as stuff right at him. He's a terrific killer of that hole.
You know, he played only 1 down against Atlanta because they had to counter that red gun attack, and it took him out.
And he didn't like it either.
No, I'm sure not.
He wants to dance every dance, not occasionally. Got an advantage on the left side if they would run the left side. Now they're bringing the guy in motion. They take away that advantage.
2nd and 9, and Wolfley makes the catch. And taken out by Cecil. Ron Wolfley's first catch as a Brown, former Cardinal.
Here we see Wolfley coming off into the right flat. There you see gets the hit around, makes the catch, gets the ball away from pressure, and is knocked out of bounds. But the big thing is he caught the ball. That's the important thing.
This guy Wolfley, Hank, 4 times he's played in the Pro Bowl, all because of his special teams play.
And he used to do a good job for the Cardinals.
Picked him up plan B from the Cardinals in the offseason. 3rd down and 3. Mack running hard, and he's going to be near the first. Did they give him any part of the 30-yard line? Let's see on the spot. All he has to do is touch the 30-yard line. And he's got it. 1st down for Cleveland.
Wolfley that time on the wing is in motion to the right, tries to make a trap block on the inside. Got nothing of a push from the offensive lineman on the left side, and he got the yardage.
Saw a glance of Bill Belichick in his 2nd year. He's won 8 and lost 13. He took over a team that 1990 was 3-13. They called their highlight film that year Escape from the Season from Hell. That was the name of their highlight film, truly. And then last year, Belichick's first year, they called the highlight film Restore the Pride. First down pass to Jackson, and that'll be good enough for another first down. Michael Jackson at the 43.
He got a good shot there. The offensive line coming off the ball. Good protection. Tom Zach has plenty of time to step, throw, follow through. That's what he's got to do. Here we watch it now. Look at the good blocking at the point. At the play action pass. Good blocking up front. Plenty of time to step forward, follow through, and get the ball right where it had to be thrown, right at the number.
Spotted near the 44. Jackson with 4 catches. First down.
They got a hole straight ahead over the right guard. See if they run there.
They do. Taking a little outside of that hole is Mack for about 3.
Yeah, had he hit a little tighter, I think he would have had more of an opportunity to hit that spot, gain some yardage on the play.
Atlanta and San Francisco coming up next.
And Atlanta usually plays San Francisco very well. As you mentioned, Jim, last year they beat them twice.
Candlestick has witnessed some exciting games this year. They're 1-1, the Niners at home, but both games came down to a Mike Cofer field goal attempt in the final minute. He missed in a 3-point loss to the Bills and then beat the Rams 2 weeks ago in the closing seconds. Second down, 7 to go. Leading 10-6 Cleveland on the attack. 10 minutes to go in the game. Lawyer Tillman, welcome back to the NFL. 18 yards to Lawyer Tillman. His first game action since the 1990 Hall of Fame Classic in Akron, Ohio, or in Canton, Ohio.
And Tillman, the nice thing about him, he's such a big target. He's 6'5". Nothing but a skinny post or a slant pattern. And Tom Zach comes out of here after the play walking around like Chester. Looks like he might have bruised his foot or something, but watch him. He's kind of gimpy walking around, but he's okay, I guess.
Robert Brown made contact with him. Tom Zach throwing. This will be a flag, very obviously, against Benny Clark.
Noble blitzing on the play, number 91, pass interference on Clark.
Defensive pass interference, number 25. Automatic first down.
Here you see the pass interference on the play, number 25. Very obvious. Clark involved in pass interference on the play, number 25. Very obvious.
Against Metcalf. So first down from the 26. 2 tight ends. And Wolfley on a wing directly to the right. Timeout called by the Browns. That's the first one they've used in the second half. And we'll return to Cleveland Stadium after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
This is CBS.
United Auto Supply, serving the tri-state area for over 30 years at 9 locations.
Amazing, but true. Right now, you can get 2 tempting Big Mac sandwiches for just $2 at McDonald's.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Of course, they won't be spinning around like this. Right now, you can get 2 hot egg McMuffin sandwiches at breakfast for just $2. That's 2 for $2 at McDonald's, but not in this commercial.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Maybe it's over here.
Romeo, where dost thou be?
The first draft of anything is just a rough draft. No.
Hey, Romero!
Romero? But Golden Draft is cold filtered and cold finished the Michelob way for a smoother finish draft.
Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Yes.
Wouldn't you rather be holding a Golden?
So where you from?
Warsaw.
Huh? Hey, I got an uncle from there. Or was it Krakow?
Warsaw is a famous name in business insurance.
Hey, maybe you know him. Paul Zakowski?
Sorry.
But some people have trouble placing us.
Where's Warsaw?
Wisconsin.
Oh, welcome to America.
Oh, Warsaw Insurance.
That's Warsaw.
W-A-U-S-A-U.
Right.
Warsaw.
We're the business insurance experts.
from Wausau.
Whatever.
Browns with a 4-point lead and driving with 9 minutes to go in the game. They called a timeout. Cleveland did. Each team is left with 2. Tom Zach last week against Pittsburgh led Cleveland from behind with second-half drives of 65 and 90 yards. He's already had a 70-plus drive for a touchdown in this half. Mack on the pitch to about the 23. Johnny Holland on the hit.
Kevin Mack is a very determined runner, and the other thing you like about him is the fact that he secures the ball so well when he's running, especially down the sideline.
Under 9 to go in the game. Second down and 7. Mack again. It'll set up 3rd and about 4, maybe 5. Brian Noble and Robert Brown combine on the tackle. It's been for Cleveland 51 games since they had a back run for 100 yards in a game.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Really has.
Third and 4. What a key down this is. Timeout. Tom Zach. That's the second one on this series. Leaving Cleveland with only 1. We'll be right back.
Since the Honda Accord is America's best-selling car, why would you want to lease one? Well, for one thing, you won't have to drop a lot of cash. Introducing the Accord Lease Program. See your nearest dealer for details.
I know if you really care about somebody, nothing else should matter. But it does.
Sometimes getting close to him is all I think about.
I expect her to sweat if she's running a marathon, but not when we're close to each other.
Well, you just can't get close to a guy if he smells.
Get a little closer with Arid XX, the anti-odor antiperspirant. Arid XX helps keep you extra, extra dry.
I trust Arid.
Things haven't been that great with Steve and me for a while, so it's not a total surprise. Believe me, it's still a little scary being on your own now. You really need to start thinking about money. And I haven't begun to think about that. When I went through this, I sat down with a broker over at P. & Weber. He looked at what I had, and we came up with a plan that basically just let me get on with my life. And how did he know what you needed? Fortunately for me, he asked.
Well, in the game summary, we talked about that duration for Cleveland without a 100-yard rusher. Mack with good numbers today, 63 yards and a touchdown. Workman rushing and receiving 106. Pretty dead even on total yards. Chris Jacke's 2 field goals, the scoring for the Packers, as Cleveland again has not allowed the opposition into the end zone. It's been 28 days and 12 quarters. They've had a bye week, of course, in that stretch. 3rd and 4. Leading by 4. Midway through the final quarter. Bavaro in a slot to the right. And there he is, Bavaro with the first down catch. And fighting for yardage like the old New York Giant of old.
It's amazing. They had 2 receivers. And Bavaro makes the catch, and he was, you see how he secured the ball once he made the catch. Look at Metcalf and Bavaro in the same spot. Somebody blew the pattern. I would guess it was Metcalf, but he made the catch. And look at him hold on to the football and try to get upfield and make as much yardage as he possibly can. It was a bad pattern by somebody, but a good catch by Bavaro.
His first catch of the day, he threw a big block on the touchdown run by Mack. Took 6 players to bring him down on that one. 1st and 10 from the 11. Mack up the middle. Holland has a hold of him, but not until he gains 6. Tony Jones with a good block, Hank.
Yeah, Tony Jones is a great story. He came in here as a free agent in 1988. And they had Larry Little come in, the great guard for the Miami Dolphins, look at all the prospects. And he watched him carefully and came to the conclusion when he left. He said, listen, this guy's going to be a great player. And he was right. Played his college football at Western Carolina.
The Catamounts. Played for the late coach, Bob Waters. Passed away of Lou Gehrig's disease. Here's a 2nd and 4 carry. Mack into the end zone for the touchdown. His 2nd of the day, his 50th of his career.
Fike, King, it looked like Bavaro all getting a good block at the point of attack. Mack with good vision, good balance. Head up, eyes open, makes the cut into the end zone for the touchdown.
He's about as good as anyone getting that tough yard. Well, that time it was a 6-yard run for a touchdown. Out of the hold of Hansen, Stover adds the extra point. So 6:08 to go in the game. 17-6 Cleveland.
Excuse me, you're the owner of this place?
Yeah, I'm one of them.
So you could buy any laser printer you wanted, huh?
We bought an HP LaserJet printer.
But you could have bought any laser printer.
Yeah. Why?
Just for the novelty of it?
I got enough novelty around here.
But isn't buying an HP LaserJet sort of like a, no-brainer?
Nah, I think it's kind of like a brainer.
HP LaserJet printers. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer.
I try to ignore my sensitive teeth, but they hurt.
Sensodyne helps stop the pain that can make you stop brushing, could lead even to tooth loss. And now, Sensodyne has fluoride.
Fluoride, great.
New Sensodyne helps stop the pain of sensitive teeth.
Why is the Honda Accord the best-selling car in America? Maybe it's the reliability. Maybe it's the value. Maybe it's the interior.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by American Honda, who has been making quality cars in America for the past 10 years. HP LaserJet printers. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer. And by Valvoline Motor Oil. People who know use Valvoline.
Hank, how about the blocking for Mack to get him into the end zone? His 2nd touchdown of the game.
All right, here we are right here. Childress and Galbraith coming off the ball do a great job. And, of course, Mack does a super job of reading the blocks. Look at that. Starts inside, breaks a little bit to the outside, goes into the end zone for the touchdown. Excellent blocking. And he goes in there unmolested for the touchdown.
Packers need 2 touchdowns, 2 scores. They're down 11. Brooks from the 6 runs it out to the 26, and a flag thrown in at the end. Another reminder that tonight 8 o'clock, we'll have Game 2 of the World Series.
Well, there's a lot of excitement in Atlanta, is there?
I'm telling you. Toronto and the Braves. Game 2, Atlanta won last night 3-1. John Smoltz on the mound for the Braves. He was the MVP of the National League Championship Series. Smoltz. And he'll be up there tonight on the mound on the hill for Atlanta. Holding call against the special teams unit of Green Bay, and they'll now start this drive from their own 15. Their worst starting field position of the day. The dog pound to their back. Green Bay operating from the 15. Sidney has it for about 8.
They're playing a 3-deep zone, and justifiably they're going to make them travel slowly. They're not going to give them man for man with a possibility of making a big play.
2nd and 3. 5:30 to go in the game. Harris. Boy, was he open. Near the 40. Newsom on the hit.
Well, the tight end should be open against a 3-deep zone, and they spotted it quickly. I'm impressed the way he reads the coverages and gets rid of the ball so quickly, talking about Favre.
Workman, oh boy, he had to go back and get it. And only a gain of about 3.
This is typical 49er pass offense, because they expect to throw the ball with a high percentage kind of a pass and hope that the receiver will make a catch and run with it for a long way. That time he bobbled the ball and didn't have a chance to do anything but accept the ball.
2nd and 7. Look at Workman almost squeeze his way out of that one. It'll be 3rd and short. 3rd and about 2. Mike Johnson will get credit for that tackle.
That's the great thing about this offense. They learn they must be patient if you're going to run this offense efficient.
No huddle, and 4:30 to go in the game. Down 11. Favre on 3rd and 2. Favre wants to run for it, and he dives for the first down at the 50. Broke away from Perry for a moment.
Man-for-man coverage on the play. Didn't have any place to throw the ball. Had enough awareness, however, to tuck it away and move the ball up there for the first down.
Packers have 2 timeouts remaining. First down, sideline, too low for Beach.
That's the one thing that happens to you when you're throwing the ball so quickly, especially for a young quarterback. He wants to get rid of it so quickly that sometimes he throws the ball before he's actually ready to throw the ball, and as a result throws it badly.
No interceptions for Favre, who came in with the lowest interception percentage in the NFL, a category usually reserved for Bernie Kosar, who's the all-time leader in lowest percent of interceptions. I think that Cleveland was across the line, but Salem then reacted to it and came out of his stance.
False start, number 72, before the snap. Offense. 5 seconds, 2nd down.
Back up to the 45. Holmgren's team 0-2 on the road and in danger of dropping to 0-3 on the road. They've been outscored away from home by a total of 72-19. 2nd and 15. Pump fake. Favre looking long for Brooks. Oh, Randy Hilliard stuck a hand in there. I thought Brooks might come down with it.
It was close. 57, Matthews blitzing on the play. Again, man-for-man coverage. Here you see the play. Both of them were making an honest attempt to get the ball.
A lot of contact, but they said they both were going for it, so it's 3rd and 15.
everybody to get down the hook about 18, 20 yards.
Here they come. Just got it away. Favre had to just get rid of it.
Brandon blitzing on the play along with Johnson right up the middle. There you see Johnson, 59. They both get in there, and he makes them throw the ball badly because of the rush.
McJulian, they call him hang time. And he could use one here. I think they're too far out, Hank, on 4th and 15 to go for the fake. McJulian. He's had his troubles today in this soggy air, and it goes to the 19. 36 yards on that punt. Cleveland has the football and the lead by 11 with 3:44 to go.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. This year, Washington special teams are even more special. Number 30, Brian Mitchell, is joined at deep back by Heisman Trophy winner Desmond Howard, number 80. This trick lateral was used for the first time in a decade by the Skins. Because together, this pair of game breakers make the world champions the best they can be.
If you want to move ahead in any career, you have to know what most employers want. Like how to work with a team, how to handle responsibility, how to take on a tough job and see it through. You can learn all these things in the Army. So when you do set off on the road to success, you'll already be in the driver's seat.
"18 years ago, Honda introduced a new class of car to America. The Accord. Now we'd like to introduce a new class of Accord with fine leather appointments, anti-lock brakes, and dual airbags. The Accord SE from Honda.
This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, and this CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Cleveland Browns, and the National Football League is prohibited. So there, you've been warned. Now from the 19, Cleveland, an 11-point lead. Cardell is behind Tomczak, and here he is, the rookie from Stanford, spinning for about 4.
You have to be impressed with Cleveland. Only 1 turnover, 3 penalties, no sacks allowed. Got to be impressed with that.
No touchdowns allowed. Timeout called by Green Bay. The Packers have 1 remaining. 3:36 to go in the game.
Billy Belichick, the head coach of Cleveland, has really done a terrific job with this young football team. And as I mentioned earlier, Art Modell, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, said he's going to be here for a long, long time.
He's going to return this franchise to a place of glory, is what Mr. Modell says.
How many times, however, have you heard that song before?
No, he's got him headed in the right. He's got him headed in the right direction. There's Art Modell, the longtime owner of the Browns, on the right.
And he's really been a great owner. He really has been a terrific guy.
Belichick took a 3-win team to a 6-win season his first year. And now a little more than 3 minutes away from getting to 500. 3-3. Year 2. 2nd and 7. Roll out. Galbraith gives him a new set of downs at the 38.
There again, a play action bootleg pattern. Taking the backs one way, quarterback goes to the other way. Galbraith comes over from the tight end position on the right side across the field, makes the catch, first down.
Tom Zach, Hank, has hit his last 7 passes.
Some people maybe would be surprised at the fact that he threw, but the way he threw a play action pass didn't surprise me at all, because it's a very high percentage kind of a play.
1st and 10. Mack right into Noble. Maybe a yard.
They got a wing back on the left side outside the tight end. Jim, the corner's playing off their soft. If they just toss the ball outside, run left, outside, if they have the same defense, you ought to be able to pick up a pretty good game.
Well, Cleveland will not have to snap it before the 2-minute warning. So they'll let it run down. Green Bay has 1 timeout, but they're saving it. So we've reached the 2-minute warning with the score Cleveland 17 and Green Bay 6.
Not only is this Honda Accord designed to improve airflow, but cash flow as well. Introducing the Accord lease program. See your nearest dealer for details.
The Postal Service would like to present 2-day priority mail. That's delivery in just 2 days of up to 2 pounds for just $2.90. Remember, 2 days, 2 pounds, $2.90. 2-day priority mail from your Postal Service.
We deliver for you.
For pickup service, call 1-800-222-1811.
In Cleveland, where it's been drizzling throughout, and a 3-0 halftime lead by the Browns, extended now to a 17-6 advantage near the end.
Well, both teams played very hard out here this afternoon. And you have to be impressed with the Cleveland team, the way they have played defensively, especially in that 20-yard area.
2nd and 9. Green Bay with 1 timeout. Bardell to the 40. It'll be 3rd and about 7. And there's the timeout, the last one for Green Bay. Packers next week will be hosting Chicago.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Atlanta at San Francisco is coming up next. And if this game ends a little before 4, as we expect, we'll have time to take you back for the quick update from the studio in New York with Greg and Terry. What has Tom Zach proven to you today, Hank?
Well, I think he's proven that he has a lot of leadership qualities. He's very steady, very dependable, very solid. He's got a great attitude, too. Nothing bothers him.
3rd and 7. Green Bay gets it back. They got to stop him here, and they do. So the Packers will make one last attempt without any timeouts.
You know, we have to say a little bit about Jay Hilgenberg, too. He's done a terrific job here with Cleveland. Started as soon as he got here, had a tough first day in his first contest for the Cleveland Browns, but he's improved every game because he knows more about what's happening in the system, and everybody points to him as a very solid force in the offensive line.
Has started the last 7 Pro Bowls for the NFC. And he told us, I don't think we've kicked in yet, but maybe they have today. Maybe it's that turning point to get it back to 500. And a good film to send to Chicago as the Bears will prep for Green Bay next week. Tomczak and Hilgenberg will be pleased. Terrell Buckley, look out for this guy. He can break one. And they'll let it run down. 3 seconds on the down clock. Nope. Instead of taking the penalty.
Timeout. 40-second timeout.
How about for Green Bay? The question mark really has been for a couple of weeks. Will Favre be the quarterback for the rest of the year, or once Mikowski is healthy, will they go back to Dunn?
That's going to be a big decision for Mike to have to make when that time comes, because he doesn't know whether he'll go with the young quarterback or whether he'll bring the magic man back and see what he can do as a veteran quarterback.
Mentioned Chicago is next week for Green Bay, then at Detroit, at the Giants, Philadelphia, at Milwaukee, and then another game against Chicago. Buckley is third in the NFC in punt returns behind Mel Gray and Kelvin Martin. Ran one back 58 yards for a touchdown against Cincinnati.
Well, that's the thing. He's like a time bomb. You know, you got to be very careful. You make sure you got to stay in your lanes and cover well.
Oh, they throw a flag. Buckley fumbled it anyway and then made the recovery, but they say Hansen was hit, so Cleveland will get the football back and run it out. And I thought that
running into the kicker. Number 36.
That was Leroy Butler. And Hank, tell me if this was incidental contact. I didn't think there was much of a hit here by Butler.
Well, let's see.
Well, I'll take that back.
He hit him in the air.
Yeah,
no question about it.
Second look tells a different story.
Yep, hit him in the air.
So that'll do it. Cleveland will go to 3-3, and the Packers will fall to 2-4. They still have to burn off the last minute of the clock. And tonight we have 60 minutes for you.
36.
Followed by Game 2 of the World Series, Toronto and Atlanta, with the Braves leading 1-0. Well, I tell you what, Hank, they called it running into the kicker, which is not an automatic first. And the 5 yards would have left it still at 4th down. So interestingly, it's not an automatic first since it's running into the kicker, not roughing. And Green Bay will have possession. So let's fix that now. Green Bay will have the football, 54 seconds to go, and the football at their own 25. So the penalty was not enough, about a half yard shy of the first. .54 seconds. No timeouts. Favre on the run and almost intercepted. He overthrew Harris. And then Odie Harris just re-signed this week. Almost had the interception. Played the first 2 games of the season, then was cut and then re-signed this week. Odie Harris.
And of course, Cleveland's with 6 defensive backs to prevent defense, which is obvious.
.48 seconds to go. Favre trying to buy some time, and over the head of Sanjay Beach. Actually, the ball was deflected by Rob Burnett. .39 seconds to go in the game. This was a renewal of an old NFL rivalry. Cleveland and Green Bay met in the 1965 NFL championship game, with Green Bay winning 23-12. It was Jimmy Brown's last game. He retired afterwards. Horning and Taylor combined to rush for over 200. Hadn't met in 6 years, though, till today. Brooks from the 30 needs to get out of bounds, and he does.
He didn't look like he wanted to get out of bounds. He was trying to make a move and then decided.
They ruled that he was actually stopped. I didn't see it that way, but they blew the whistle. Still in bounds. So 15 seconds remaining. 4th down play. Sharp will add to his stats, but that will close it out. So the Cleveland Browns, down to the 3rd quarterback of the year, are now 3-3 on the season. Kozar coming back in 3 weeks. And this defense of the Browns has now gone 13 quarters without allowing a touchdown. He was a young defensive wizard with the New York Giants, and Belichick has his defense playing proud in Cleveland. So for Hank Stram, I'm Jim Nance saying so long from Cleveland Stadium, where the final score is Cleveland 17 and Green Bay 6. Coming up next, coverage of the NFL continues with the Atlanta Falcons taking on the San Francisco 49ers. You're watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.
One oil filter traps 80% more dirt than the leading competitor. Clearly, that's Motorcraft. Motorcraft quality parts from Ford.
Let it rain. Let it snow. You've got Michelin's